So in this video, we're going to have a look at the rules of BIDMAS or PEMDAS, depending on where in the world you're from. So this applies to calculations when you're not sure of what order to do things in. And so BIDMAS stands for, we do the brackets first, then we do the exponents or the indices, if you're from England like me. Then we do division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. Now, PEMDAS is exactly the same thing, apart from in America, we use the word parentheses instead of brackets, and we use the word exponents instead of indices. But apart from that, it is exactly the same. It's just a question of language. All right, so now we know the order starting from the top. When we see brackets or parentheses, we need to act on those first. Then once we've done that, we move on to any exponents or indices. And then, well, it doesn't actually matter if we do division or multiplication, okay, but we tend to say division first. We really work from left to right, so it'll depend on that. And then it's the same for addition and subtraction. It doesn't really matter the order of such, but we'll go for addition first, followed by subtraction. So those are the rules. So let's jump in and do some examples. So starting with A, in the example you can see, we've got to take the brackets first. So that means we've got to do the 3 plus 2 first. So we can write this as 5 times 6 minus 8. Right, after that, we haven't got any exponents. We don't have any division, so we've got to do that multiplication next. So we're going to do 5 times 6, which is 30. And so our final answer for this question is going to be 22. 30 take away 8 is 22. Okay, moving on to the next example. We are looking at that. We've got to do the division first, and we can do that multiplication at the same time. So in part B, we can do, well, 18 divided by 2 is 9. 4 times 6 is 24. So this becomes 24 plus 9, which is 33. And there's our answer there in part B. In C, we've got to do the brackets first, okay, the parentheses. So that's going to be 15 divided by 5 plus 6. Then after that, the next thing on our list is division. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I've got 3 plus 6. And then finally, 3 plus 6 is, of course, 9. So 9 is going to be our final answer. And you would get a different answer if you had done that in a different order. Now, let's think carefully then about this next question. This is quite a challenge. We've got to put some brackets into these statements to make them correct. So if we just do this as per normal and follow the rules of BIDMAS or PEMDAS, well, 3 times 6 is 18 plus the 1. We're not going to get 21 there, are we? So how can we do this? Well, 3 times 7 is going to make 21. So in order to make sure we do the 7 first, we're going to have to put brackets around the 6 and the plus 1. That way we'll get the 7, and that has to be done first because of those brackets. So that is how we're going to do A. Right, moving on, let's see if we can figure out B. It's going to be similar. We've got 5 plus 6 times 2. Now, usually we would do the 6 times 2 first to get 12, and then 12 plus 5 is 17. So that's not right, but I can spot that 5 plus 6 makes 11, and then 11 times 2 is 22. So in part B, we'll need to put the brackets around there. Okay, now next one in C, see if you can do this one. Where do we put the brackets? Well, I know my 9 times table, and I know 45 divided by 9 is 5. So that means I'll need to make a 9, right? Otherwise, we're going to be doing 45 divided by 6, which isn't right. So we'll put the brackets around there. Okay, now in D, 49 take away 3 plus 2. This is going to be quite a tricky one. If we just did it as it comes, we're going to have 49 take away 3, which is 46, plus 2. Well, that's going to give us 48, so that isn't right. However, maybe if we created brackets around here, we'd have to do that first, which would give us 49 minus 5, and that will give us the correct answer. So that's where we're going to put the brackets in that particular example. Okay, now have a look at the next one. So we've got 7 times 3 plus 2 to make 35. Well, I need to do 7 times 5, and I can only create that 5 if I have the brackets around the 3 and the 2. So that is our answer there. Finally, in F, we have to make an 18. So how can we make an 18? Well, if we do 9 times 2, 9 times 2 makes 18, and we can generate that 9 by doing 13 take away 4. So we'll put our brackets there. So I hope this video has given you an understanding of PEMDAS and BIDMAS. It's about choosing the correct order in which to do something. There are further examples to look at, but that should get us started on this topic.